Hey guys, welcome to Ask Truth Apologetics. We are going to start today off in the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verse 37, which says, "The Father who sent me has himself testified about me. You have not heard his voice at any time, and you haven't seen his form." Wait, what? What? What do you mean you haven't heard his voice at any time? What about at the baptism of Jesus or the Mount of Transfiguration? Wasn't the Father's voice heard? So we can read about this in Matthew chapter 3, verse 17. And behold, a voice from heaven said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." Or on the mountain of transfiguration in Matthew 17:5, it says, "He was still speaking when behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and a voice from the cloud said, 'This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him.'" Right? So isn't that the voice of the Father? If so, how can Jesus say you haven't heard his voice at any time? And still yet, what about all the times when God spoke to Abraham or Moses or to the multitudes of the Israelites who trembled at the voice of God and begged Moses to intercede for them? What about those incidences when people heard the voice of God? Well, God's voice is heard. The Father's voice is heard. It is audible, and people can hear it, and people do hear it. So when Jesus says, "You have not heard his voice at any time," how is this not a contradiction? So I'm going to ask a few questions here. Was Jesus speaking to the witnesses of his baptism when he said that? No. Was Jesus speaking to the witnesses of his transfiguration? No. Was Jesus speaking to Moses, Abraham, or the multitudes of Israelites that were with Moses? No. When we read the verse in context of chapter 5, we see that Jesus had just healed a man on the Sabbath, and the Pharisees were interrogating him about that. So, who was Jesus speaking to? Who is the you that Jesus is referring to? Well, when you read it in a context, we see that the Pharisees is who Jesus is speaking to. The Pharisees who were interrogating him about healing the man on the Sabbath. So let me rephrase some of these questions. Were the Pharisees that Jesus was speaking to there to witness his baptism? No. Were they there on the Mount of Transfiguration? No. Were they there with Moses, Abraham, and the multitudes? No. Okay. So truly, Jesus is not contradicting anything. He is speaking to the specific Pharisees who were interrogating him when he said, "You have not heard the Father's voice at any time," right? Jesus isn't lying. He's not contradicting himself. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.